Hey, you guys, it's Pedro Tagafa Corduino, and in my opinion, long distance relationships are the best.
What's up, you guys? Welcome to my vlog series. And as you saw from the intro, I'm going to be redoing some of my older videos. And to be honest, it's kind of exciting and it's also kind of nerve-wracking because we are looking at me several years in the past, and then we are basically redoing the entire video to see if the years have changed my opinion on anything, right? So let's get into the video. Throughout most of my life, as far as dating and relationship experiences, I'd say that long distance relationships to me have had a lot more depth and a lot more sentimental value to me compared to my in-person relationships, right? There's just something about connecting with someone on that emotional and psychological level, and then that physical element or physical aspect coming in at a later point in the relationship compared to basically the relationships I used to have, where I would probably see this person once a week or twice a week, and go out physically on a date or physically meet up, and there would be the sexual element there. But the thing is, like, you can physically see somebody, touch somebody, have, those sexual interactions with a person, and that doesn't maintain the relationship. That doesn't make a relationship. And a lot of times people confuse that for a relationship. They confuse the fact that just because you kind of click with someone and you two are having sex, that necessarily means that you're a good match, or that makes you guys a couple, or that means that you guys can be in a relationship or can maintain a relationship. Sex doesn't make a relationship. Sex doesn't save a relationship. A lot of the time when a relationship is dying, people often use sex as that preserver of the relationship, and it doesn't really last that long before things fall apart, all right? um the way I see it, sex is something that is to be savored, I guess. When it comes to a relationship, it is something to be savored. Sex in general is just a sensation, it's just pleasure, but the enjoyment of sex depends on like the chemistry and the connection that you have to the person you're with, right? I can say in my life that my experiences with just flings, one night stands, or casual instances, the pleasure, the enjoyment of it was so little. I'd often feel disgusted afterwards, but when you actually have that emotional connection built with somebody, and then you two have that moment, you have that experience together, it is leagues and worlds above anything else, right? I feel like when it comes to a long distance relationship, you are putting in that work. You are building the foundation for the relationship, It takes time and it takes commitment to talk to somebody on the phone a certain amount of time a day or a certain amount of time a week. It takes time and it takes commitment to do these video calls. It takes time and commitment basically to have that open and frequent communication with this other person. And the thing I like about long distance relationships is the physical element isn't there. I mean, of course, it's there when you do like the video calls and all of that type of stuff, and probably texting and sending pictures and whatever. But the thing is, for the most part, you are getting to know the person's personality. You are communicating with this person through this medium that doesn't really give you the opportunity to touch them, doesn't give you the opportunity to do things with them. So you're really getting to know the person in their rawest form. You're getting to know their personality. You're attracted to their personality. You're connected to their personality. And basically when you do meet up, when you do actually see each other in real life and you do have that experience, it is the strongest thing in the world. It is one of the strongest and most enjoyable things in the world. And I think with long distance relationships, you have that. certainty, you know? You have that certainty that this is the person that you want to be with, because miles and miles and miles and miles of distance between you does not weaken the relationship. It doesn't. What you know is that the emotional chemistry that you have with this person is there. You know in your heart, in your soul, that this is the person that you want to be with, you know? And that distance isn't going to stop you. I think some of the weak points of a long distance relationship has got to be um confidence and trust. If you are a very insecure person and you don't have confidence in yourself, and you have been cheated on in the past and you have trust issues, then it is often hard to get into a long distance relationship with somebody and trust the other person going forward without that constant assurance or that constant communication, because this is somebody that you can't see what they're doing. You are not always around them, you know? And it's even more so worse because when it's a long distance relationship, it's not like you can actually go over there and see them. It's not like you can see it in their eyes. You know, they can have somebody else. You could be the side person and you don't even know, right? And it hurts. It hurts, and it often creates a lot of doubt. But also the biggest killer of a relationship is doubt. When you're constantly stressing or worried or insecure about what your partner is doing, or if they're doing something with someone else, or if that there's cheating going on, that often wears down the relationship, that often wears down the other person's patience, right? um and I think when it comes to that type of partner, when it comes to that type of person in a long distance relationship, they really shouldn't be in a long distance relationship in the first place. But it also takes the other person understanding who you are, you know, who you are, your shortcomings, your faults, and working with you. And it also takes you working on yourself and trying to overcome this insecurity, trying to overcome these past scars of infidelity and, you know, trust issues, because your partner has to work with you. Your partner, a good partner will reassure you. A good partner will reassure you that nothing's going on. They will try to meet you halfway. But they can only do that for so long if these trust issues persist, if you constantly keep having these doubts and these negative thought processes. And then you eventually wear them down, and then they get pushed away by you. They get repelled by you, right? Um I think another issue is like definitely the physical element of the long distance relationship. You want to do things with this person. You want to hold their hand. You want to actually physically be with them. And depending on how far the distance is, that dictates how frequently you can do that. That dictates how often you can do that. Um and it just kind of depends on who you two are. Like, can you guys keep it in your pants? Like, some people, you know, when it comes to long distance relationships, there's cheating involved mainly because, you know, the other person isn't around. You have these desires and this other person isn't around, and it doesn't seem like you're going to see them anytime soon, right? But a good long distance relationship works to overcome that. A good long distance relationship is when both parties are working towards actually seeing each other. It's when they actually set down a game plan of like, hey, we're gonna see each other this many times a year, this many times a month, or this many times every couple of months, right? And we're gonna see each other for this long, and that gives you guys something to work towards. That gives you guys something to save towards. And I think for a long distance relationship to ultimately last or go the distance, pretty much, you have to, as a couple, work towards being together. You have to work towards meeting somewhere in the middle at some point, and one of you either moving in with the other person or moving near the other person, making that distance gap close. All right, that's what you need to do. um Most of my long distance relationships, most of my long distance friendships and stuff like that have been emotionally fulfilling and sentimental, in the sense that they have really uplifted me. They have made me grow. They have made me see that there is so much more to the world than, you know, the city I'm in, than the neighborhood I'm in, right? I often wonder to myself from time to time, um, do we get in relationships with people that are nearby to us because that is the best option that we can find nearby? Or is there someone else out there for us? Is there a greater connection or a stronger connection with someone out there that isn't in the same area, that isn't nearby, but somewhere else on the planet, and we just don't know about it? You know, are we really just settling in our lives for something that's local and nearby and familiar when there is a stronger connection out there truly meant for us? And that's what has me open to long distance relationships, because I'm not really so much interested in like the local connection or like how close in proximity somebody is to me. I am more interested in the chemistry. I'm more interested in like how close you are to me mentally, psychologically, spiritually, you know? Do we have the same interests? Do we have the same passions? Do I feel like I'm a better person with you in my life? Do I feel like, you know, you in my life uplifts me? Do I feel like I can be myself around you? And I would like the other person to be themselves around me, you know? Um, I feel like a big issue with a lot of my relationships, as far as in-person relationships, is, you know, I would think that the chemistry is good, but it's really just the physical element of the relationship, right? It's just the physical element of the relationship that I'm liking. But I don't really have that strong emotional foundation or that emotional connection with the person. We do have some things in common, we do have some interests and all of that, but it's mostly the sexual element that keeps the relationship going. And I love my long distance relationships because those are the relationships that I am my truest self. Those are the relationships that I am putting myself forward, where I'm actually getting to know the other person, where I'm actually trying to build this emotional foundation with the other person. And it's not just, you know, this sexual element to it. There's not just this physical element to it. And you know, when it comes to a long distance relationship, you're really looking forward to that moment where you actually do meet this person, because it's just like, damn, I fell asleep to you. I woke up to you. You know, I get these good morning messages. I get these good night messages. We would talk all day, all night, you know. It's stuff like that. And then I'm finally seeing this person, you know. I'm finally seeing this person. I'm touching this person. It's like a dream come true. And for me, that's why I really do love long distance relationships. I'm not saying that you can't have a very strong and you can't have a very fulfilling relationship in person with somebody, but it's just like, it's a big, big world out there, you know? But also, a long distance relationship takes a lot of maturity, it takes a lot of communication, it takes a lot of openness and honesty with the other person, and it takes work from both parties. This is Vera Malo, and I'm gonna be making or redoing a lot of my vlogs. So if you guys have any vlog video ideas or suggestions, please comment it below. Bye.